Okay, so picture this, right? It's Friday night. It's 1986. You're a parent and the phone rings.
Uh-oh.
It's your 15-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to be at a friend's house, but a man answers.
Oh, wow.
But it's not just any man. It's someone you know, like really know.
Okay.
It's someone who, frankly, creeps you out so much that you actually quit your job just to avoid him.
Yeah.
This was the reality for a woman named Patricia Bender, and that phone call was just the beginning of a mystery that still haunts her family today.
I can't even imagine.
So we're diving into the disappearance of Susan Robin Bender, a case that is just, well, full of twists and turns, shady characters, and there's even a possible connection to some really big names in true crime, like names you'd recognize.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, like, right off the bat, just hearing the setup, there's already this, like, feeling of unease. Like, something's not right.
Right.
You know, you mentioned the conflicting stories and then, these questionable people in the background. And you just get this sense that something bad's going to happen.
Absolutely. And so the main source we have is this Crime Junkie episode.
Yeah.
And it really is a story that you just can't stop listening to.
Yeah, definitely.
So we want to kind of break down those early details with you and see if we can figure out what might have happened to Susan.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, for those of you who are listening who, like us, grew up in the 70s and 80s, you'll remember that, well, things were different back then.
Oh, yeah. Like, a lot different.
Teenagers had, like, more freedom.
Way more.
Right. We rode our bikes further, took the bus to see friends across town, and, parents weren't always hovering.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's so important to remember when we're talking about Susan's case, because her mom, Patricia, must have felt this just like overwhelming fear and uncertainty.
Yeah, absolutely. As the days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and then, it's been decades and still no sign of her.
Right. It's just unimaginable. So one of the first things that really jumped out at me was this friendship that Susan had.
Okay.
See, she was close with this older couple, Bill and Becky.
Older couple, okay.
Yeah. They lived about 45 minutes away from Modesto, where Susan lived with her mom.
Okay.
Patricia, Susan's mom, she'd met them. But even she had no idea how Susan even became friends with this couple.
That's weird.
It's like almost too perfect,
Yeah, it does feel a little, I don't know, staged or something.
Right, like something's missing, and it gets even weirder.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out Susan hadn't actually seen Bill and Becky in over a year.
What? Okay, so then where was she going on the weekends?
Exactly. And why lie about it?
Yeah.
It feels like, someone's trying to throw us off.
Yeah, like misdirection.
But why? Right, so then we have that phone call.
The one to her friends.
Yeah, the one that changes everything. So Patricia calls. She's expecting to talk to Bill, but it's a man who answers, a man she immediately recognizes. Roger.
Oh, so this is the, like, creepy guy.
Yeah, this wasn't just some random dude. Patricia had worked with Roger and, well, she quit because she found him creepy and totally inappropriate. Can you imagine?
No, like finding out he's with your daughter.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Patricia later said that she really regretted not going to get Susan right then and there.
I bet.
She was so conflicted. On the one hand, she had this gut feeling that something was really wrong.
Yeah.
But she also didn't want to push Susan away,
It's like that parental dilemma. Do you trust your kid or do you, like, intervene and risk, them shutting you out?
It's impossible to know what the right call is in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is, Susan was with Roger that night. And then she disappears, completely vanishes.
Oh, wow.
The last place anyone saw her was at the Modesto bus depot.
Okay.
And she was supposedly heading to Carmel.
That's like hours away.
Right. And Roger lived in Modesto, just a few minutes from Patricia.
Yeah.
Why would Susan tell people she was going to Carmel?
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So either Susan was trying to throw everyone off or someone else was, maybe even Roger.
It's a good question. Was she running away? Was this all just a huge misunderstanding? Or was someone, like, tricking her, leading her into a trap?
Yeah.
Now, here's another twist.
Okay.
Witnesses at the bus depot saw Susan talking on a payphone, and then she just gets into a green van willingly.
A green van.
And guess what?
Roger had a van.
Roger had a van. Was this meeting planned? Did Susan want to disappear? Or was she, like, manipulated into a situation she couldn't control? It's impossible to know for sure.
And without Susan there to tell us what happened, we're just left with these little pieces trying to put together a story that makes sense.
It's true. And as we're trying to figure this out, we have to take a closer look at Roger. This guy had a past, like a serious past.
Okay, like what?
He'd been charged with burglary, arson, even soliciting a sex worker. And get this, he was also a suspect in another arson case.
Hmm.
All of this before Susan disappeared.
So this guy was already trouble.
Big trouble.
Yeah.
And it gets even more complicated. The police searched Roger's apartment and his van, and they found some of Susan's things. Clothes, an address book, and even her diaries.
Her diaries.
Yeah, apparently she never went anywhere without them.
That's weird. If she went willingly, why leave her diaries?
Exactly. It just doesn't add up. And when Patricia asked Roger about Susan's things,
Mm-hmm.
you know what he said. He said he let her go.
Let her go. That's creepy.
So creepy. Like he's trying to downplay his involvement, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's like he's choosing his words carefully.
It's almost as if he's taunting everyone. But here's the thing. Even with all of this, the police never officially named Roger as a suspect.
What? But why?
It's like they're missing something, or maybe they're waiting for something. It's frustrating.
Totally. And for Patricia, I mean, talk about being left in limbo. No answers, just questions.
It's awful. But the story doesn't end there. What Roger did after Susan disappeared just makes things even more mysterious.
Okay, what did he do?
Well, first, he was charged with arson and burglary, but for something totally unrelated to Susan. Then he actually staged his own abduction.
He what?
Yeah, like he was trying to create chaos and throw everyone off his trail, maybe even distract from whatever happened to Susan.
It's like he's playing games.
It really is.
Yeah.
But eventually they caught him. He was convicted on the arson and burglary charges and went to prison for 6 years. And while he was in prison, he was convicted of another horrible crime. Continuous sexual abuse of a child.
Oh my God.
It's sickening. And you can't help but wonder, was this just him escalating? Was this connected to what happened to Susan?
It's scary to think about. Like, was this part of a pattern?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, just when you think this case couldn't get any darker, right? There's another twist, like a really sinister one. You ready for this?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Okay, so enter the Speed Freak killers. Wesley Shermantine and Lauren Herzog.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those guys.
Those names, they just sent chills down everyone's spine back in the 80s and 90s, especially in the Central Valley.
Yeah, they're like the stuff of nightmares.
Right. These two guys, they were fueled by meth, and they just unleashed this reign of terror around Modesto.
It's scary how many victims they had.
So many. And so many of them were young women. Their crimes were just brutal.
Yeah, it seemed like they just, enjoyed hurting people.
And so, given the timing and the location, you have to wonder, right? Could Susan have been one of their victims?
Wait, that's a good point. I mean, the timeline kind of matches up, right?
It does. And they targeted young women, and their, hunting grounds were close to where Susan disappeared. It's just too close to ignore.
It's definitely a possibility.
But is it enough to say for sure? That's the question.
Well, investigators looked into it, but there's just no hard evidence. Like Wesley Shermantine, one of the killers, he never even mentioned Susan, and there's nothing directly linking them to her case.
So we have Roger, this super shady guy with a disturbing past, and then you have the Speed Freak killers, these notorious criminals operating in the same area. It's almost like too much to handle.
Yeah, it makes your head spin, like trying to find your way out of a maze with no exit.
Right, and as if that wasn't enough, another name came up while we were researching this case, and this was really chilling.
Okay, who is it?
Larry Singleton.
Wait, Larry Singleton? The guy who attacked that young girl, Mary Vincent, back in '78, the one who cut off her arms?
Yeah, him.
But he was in prison when Susan disappeared.
True, but get this. He was released exactly 1 year after Susan vanished.
Whoa. That's, way too coincidental.
It's creepy, right? And there are actually some similarities between what happened to Mary Vincent and Susan's case. I mean, they were both teenagers, and there's a physical resemblance.
And he was known to be in the Modesto area.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying he's definitely involved, but it's just another layer to this already complex case. Like, how many shadows can there be?
It's like every time you think you're getting close to the truth, another one pops up.
And through it all, you have Susan's mom, Patricia. This woman never gave up hope.
It's amazing, really. She always believed that Roger was involved, even with all these other possibilities.
She even tracked his movements after he got out of prison. She was determined to hold him accountable somehow.
It just shows you the power of a mother's love.
Yeah.
She never let go of her daughter, never let her memory fade.
It's incredibly inspiring, but also heartbreaking. It makes you wonder, how do you even survive that kind of uncertainty for so long?
I know. It's got to be a constant weight, a never-ending question mark hanging over your life.
And then, just when it seemed like there was no hope left, something happened. Susan's case was reopened.
Reopened? When?
In 2021. The Modesto Police Department decided to take another look. They said they believe there are still people out there with information that could crack this case wide open.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's a sign that, maybe justice is still possible. But it also makes you wonder, what changed? What made them reopen the case after all these years?
Right. Like, what new information do they have?
They've been pretty quiet about the specifics, saying they don't want to mess up the investigation. But they did say that there are people who were never identified before who might have key information.
So maybe new witnesses.
Maybe. Or maybe someone who knew Susan or Roger back then, but they were overlooked for some reason.
It's possible. Sometimes time can help, you know? People might remember things they forgot. Or maybe they're not afraid to speak up anymore.
It's a glimmer of hope,
Yeah.
that maybe there's someone out there who holds the key to unlocking this mystery.
Yeah, someone who can finally tell us what happened to Susan.
I think that's so important, getting the word out. The more people who hear Susan's story, the better the chances that someone, somewhere, remembers something, anything.
Right. Even the smallest detail could be crucial.
That's one of the things I really like about what we do here, these deep dives. Sometimes just talking about these cases, bringing them back into the spotlight, it can make a difference. It could jog someone's memory, or maybe someone makes a connection they hadn't thought of before.
Absolutely. And it reminds everyone that these cases are still open. There are still families out there searching for answers.
Exactly. We can all play a part,
Yeah.
in seeking justice for Susan.
Right. It's not just about the investigation, though. It's also about remembering the human impact. This case has had such a profound effect on Susan's loved ones, especially her mom, Patricia.
It's just, I can't even imagine the pain she's been through, carrying the weight of this mystery for over 3 decades.
Think about it. The holidays, birthdays, every milestone, all marked by this absence, this not knowing.
It's got to be a constant ache, a void that can never be filled.
And yet Patricia has shown such incredible strength and resilience. She's never stopped looking for answers, tracking down leads, keeping Susan's memory alive.
Even when it seemed like no one else cared.
It's truly remarkable, and it speaks volumes about the power of a mother's love.
But it also makes you think, how do you even cope with that level of uncertainty for so long, all those unanswered questions?
It's a heavy burden.
Right.
And it shows how a disappearance like this, it doesn't just affect the immediate family, it ripples outward.
It impacts the whole community.
Exactly. The trauma runs deep and it can linger for years.
So, the case being reopened in 2021, that must have been a mix of emotions for Patricia and everyone who knew Susan.
Oh, definitely. On the one hand, it's a glimmer of hope, a chance to finally get some answers.
But on the other hand, it brings back all the old pain and anxiety.
Like opening old wounds. It's a tough situation for sure. And everyone copes differently. There's no right or wrong way to grieve.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Susan's disappearance, I think it's important to, move from what if to what now.
I like that. It's action-oriented.
We've talked about the suspects, the evidence, the dead ends. But the question is, what can we do with this information? What can we learn from Susan's story?
And how can we help? What can our listeners do to keep the search for Susan alive?
That's a great question.
Okay, so first of all, if anything we talked about today sparked a memory for you, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, please contact the Modesto Police Department.
Even a tiny detail could be the missing piece of the puzzle. You never know.
Exactly. And if you've been touched by Susan's story, share it. Tell your friends, your family, keep her memory alive.
Because the more people who know about Susan, the greater the chance that someone with information will come forward.
And that's what Patricia deserves. After all these years, she deserves answers. And Susan deserves justice.
So even though it's been over 35 years since Susan vanished, it's not too late to find answers.
It might take time, but justice is still possible.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the disappearance of Susan Robin Bender. If you found this episode as compelling as we did, please subscribe to The Deep Dive for more explorations into these fascinating and sometimes heartbreaking mysteries.
And remember, even in the darkest corners, there's always hope. We'll be back soon with another deep dive.